Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the e-commerce lab by Ecomcy, the place of everything related to Amazon, FBA, parallel, and e-commerce. My name is Vincenzo Toscano, your founder and CEO of Ecomcy here. And for me, it's a pleasure to have Peter Paul, which is head of sales and partnership at IntelliVee, which is one of the top services out there when it comes to really understanding your audience and finding what are some of those elements that are going to make people click and buy your products. And one of the team we're going to touch on today, how you actually find the perfect basically avatar and thematic around your products to really stand up and not be that generic standalone product that everybody try to be and then they struggle on Amazon. So Peter, it's a pleasure to have you here on the show, man. How's everything going?
Yeah, it's good. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And
Thank
thank
you,
you
thank you
everyone
for being
who's
here.
here right now. So, yeah.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I know we actually been having this podcast in the books for a while now. We actually been meeting at so many events and we've been so busy traveling around, but finally we made it.
I
And it's
think we said
definitely
it
a
like
pleasure.
I think we said it like a year and a half ago,
Yeah,
like
no,
somewhere around that.
I know. I
Yeah.
know it's been crazy, but I've been seeing what you guys are bringing to the space, amazing technology. You guys are really standing up in the Amazon community, and I think it's super important because the reason why most people struggle in Amazon nowadays is because they don't really know how to make the product stand out. They're just approaching the market with a copy paste mentality, taking a product from China, not really making it different in terms of the product, the creatives, and all of that, and that's why they struggle. And that's why I wanted to bring you on board because I know that's what your business is all about. And I'm sure you're going to share some amazing tips about how sellers can really make the product unique. Now, before we jump into that, tell us a little bit about, what is IntelliVee about? And then, of course, more than happy to jump into the team. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's good to mention that if you're speaking about the copy pasting procedure, we come from that same corner. We did the same thing. So we
Exactly.
started in 2014 as an Amazon seller and
Hmm.
grew quite rapidly. So we have like several brands by now, and but we
Nice.
discovered like pretty. Oh, by the way, my light sometimes goes off, but that's fine.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
we discovered that I think because our CEO and also me, we're both like really interested in consumer
Nice.
behavior. We really want
Yeah.
to know like what is getting the click. So, well, in 2016 we developed our own tool. That's when it all started. And in 2018 a mastermind is formed around it. And then IntelliVee really came to life. So we are dealing with people from 8 9 figure sellers who are really using it very
Nice.
very much. So like those savvy sellers, and
Yeah.
based on their insights, we could develop it even more. So what is IntelliVee? It's stepping into the consumer's mind. So you really show your product up against competition in a simulated marketplace, and then based on that, you're grabbing insights to learn like where do you get the hook, how what does convert, what are the converting USPs. So it's all like a very complete system to guide you and to listen to actual consumers who are telling you like, hey, listen, this is what I like, but this is what I dislike.
Yeah, super important because I feel even myself as a seller, when I started selling, I did a mistake that sometimes you design a product and you customize everything in terms of the branding and so on based on your perception of how you think people would like to perceive a product and see it. But reality is that most of the time when you actually do then analysis around the customer insights, you will be surprised about what you thought about specific niche is completely wrong. And that's why I think tools such as IntelliVee are super important because if you don't really understand the avatar you're targeting, how you can actually realistically bring the best offer to the table. You're actually gambling to some extent, right? And that's why it's
Exactly,
super important.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And finding the exact avatars is a whole another ball game. That's not that easy. But I think
Sure.
like it's more, we are all aware of like split testing. I don't think that anyone who's listening right now doesn't have done any split testing or something like that. But the issue is if you just do split testing, comparing two options. So let's say one version of your product and another version, then you're missing the complete context. And
Exactly.
even if I'm showing one product up against the competition, even then I might miss context because someone is responding to what they see. They get information, and based on that, in a poll, they will say, I like this one over the other." But what we
Yeah.
do is we provide a starting point with all our poll types. We start with situation insights. So if
Yeah.
you're a seller of a specific product, let's say you are doing skincare and you have like
Yeah.
a massage oil, Then the situation might be like, imagine yourself looking for a massage oil to take care of your skin. So respondents, let's say I do a poll, 100 people, 100 actual consumers are entering the survey and they see that situation. So it's kind of like, boom, now you have to imagine yourself in that situation. Then after
Hmm.
that, we ask clarity. So is it clear to you?
Yeah.
That's important, because if you make it too complicated, because if you're like into the product and you're like really adding
I
features,
don't.
it's
Yeah,
such
I
a
don't
stuff,
know what the product really does.
then you're probably also dropping in the impressions, because you're like in a niche that has almost no traffic. But let's
Yeah.
say it has a good clarity score. Then after that, we ask them, okay, now you see that, now you're in that situation looking for massage oil for skincare. What would
Yeah.
be important to you? Now, at
Yeah.
that point, consumers might say, well, it has to be organic. I don't want to have any chemicals in that. So, okay, then you know that. So, this is coming from 100 people are saying, like, this is important at the
Hmm.
doorstep, coming from the situation, having a problem, looking for a solution, and saying, like, this is important to me. Now, then after that, they see the options and they choose from the options, like, which one do you prefer? And sometimes you will see that the overall pick is, let's say, going to one of the massage oils. And then you look into the results and they're saying, I prefer this one because it has a pump.
Hmm.
But then there's a gap, because if I have like five options, even mine and the competitors, in the situation inside at the doorstep, people are saying, I want to have organic oil and it has to be, it has no, should no have no chemicals in it. But then in the result, it's saying, oh, I love it because it has a pump.
Exactly.
Before you
Yeah.
know it, you're following the route, like, oh, yes, I have a winner. And you go on with that without noticing that there's something else that the complete market is missing at the moment. And
Super
that's
important.
something that's like so valuable. And
Yeah.
I'm excited
Super.
about it, by the way. You can see that. I
Yeah.
really,
The
I
same.
love
I
it,
love
because
it.
I see so many sellers doing this, and they're like, "Wow, what? I never knew this." Like, and exactly, you never knew this. And then
Yeah.
imagine that most competitors don't know. So if you're the first doing this,
Yeah,
well,
you can definitely do a huge difference in the niche. I have an example in my mind that just came to this when you were giving the example with the oil. I remember seeing this product like like yoga balls, super competitive product, super competitive. But then I met this person that he did a market insight. He did a market insight, and then found out that a lot of people when they're in the pregnancy, the women, they use the yoga ball to do exercise and basically prepare for the pregnancy. And what he did is the whole yoga ball. He did the branding about how you can use the yoga ball, not to only do yoga, but actually if you are in the pregnancy, like you can use this to prepare for that special moment. And then he blew it out of the park because he did customer insight, and women were saying, yeah, actually, not the only I use it for yoga, but also to do exercise that my doctor sent me for my pregnancy. And that's a clear example how by doing this consumer insights, you can find those
exactly.
micro bubbles, niches, right? Yeah.
Exactly, and exactly, this is exactly what I mean. And even if you speak about a yoga ball, so I'm already, my head is spinning around, because I think like the yoga ball can also be used as sitting behind a desk at the office. We have those things here.
Exactly.
They are just
Exactly.
lying around here, but that means like you find opportunities to even build up variations or separate listings. You can really dive into specific niches, like, well, and discover like what is really needed again at the doorstep, getting that click, and then after
Yeah.
that selling the product. And I have so much to say about that, but yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. Now, I think something that people usually want to understand about consumer insights, like how I get the initial ideas to test in the first place. Because when you need to do this consumer insight, you need to have that spark of, okay, I want to compare this usage with this usage and this usage. So or this different main image with this image. So you need to have the elements in mind of what you want to test, if you see what I mean, right? To
Yeah,
then
that
figure
makes
out
sense.
which one is the winner.
That's true. But I think the industry is kind of making a mistake or has a blind spot. And what I mean by the industry is the Amazon or the e-commerce industry,
Mhm.
and not by completely. But I think in the Amazon space, it really is. It's all about hacks. It's all about
Mm,
how to
exactly.
compete based on PPC strategies instead,
Mhm.
etc. But the truth is that it's still sales.
Yeah.
And with my background, so I'm in sales like over 25 years. When I enter the doorstep and I know the situation of a specific customer, and I'm asking like, hey, what's important for you? and I have like a bunch of folders in my bag. I can tell everything. I can tell like speak about my product like for 2 hours if I want. But you're not
Exactly.
going to do it, right? You're just going to
Yeah.
ask like what's important to you, and then the only thing you're going to show is that's important. But if you look
Yeah.
at most listings are kind of like screaming all the features,
It's crazy. Yeah.
and
It's not. They don't
it's not
focus.
like so even if I have a good sales story, and the sales story is found in your listing, it's found in your image tag, it's found in your title, your bullet points, your A plus content, that's your sales story. Really, if I just analyze those, sometimes I just do that for fun, I see
Mhm.
so many mistakes. It's like
Yeah.
overwhelming. It's like I have this, I have that. I don't get it. It's like,
Mm.
so this is already a hard part. And I think in actual sales, it's also difficult. Before you know
Yeah.
it, you're speaking too much, as I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Of
But
course.
then moving it to the pitch, like the elevator pitch mechanism,
Yeah.
like now you have like only 5 seconds to grab the attention. And that's getting the click. And so actual sales, like the traditional sales, is coming into place within the Amazon marketplace. It's
Yeah.
first getting the click and finding the hook. Second, if you enter the listing, seeing the stack, you kind of start convincing and adding more features in that theme. And we spoke about the
Yeah.
theme before. So you're
Exactly.
finding the theme, like really getting people confident and like trustworthy. Like, this is what you're looking for, right? Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
Super important.
that's the rhythm that you want to have.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I think something that also people ask me all the time when it comes to split testing and doing consumer insight is to understand the size of the sample they have to get to actually validate an idea, right? Because it's not the same that you validate an idea out of 10 people compared to 1,000 people,
No,
right?
no,
And
of course.
I'm sure this is
No.
very important.
But
So, what is your take on that?
this is
Yeah,
more the technical side of polling itself. So I'm
yeah,
so now I think up till now we spoke more about why you
yeah,
should do polling, why you should go for consumer insights. But then the actual poll. So if you speak about technique, yeah, you need to have a statistical significance. So you need to have
nice,
a good number. So our rule of thumb is if you have like uh, 3 images tested side by side, we recommend 30 respondents per image.
nice. Okay,
But on each poll type, like we have like on each poll type, we deliver like 5 data points. So
yeah,
you get like not you do not get so in this case, if I'm saying 3 images, 30 images, or 30
mm-hmm.
respondents per image, I speak about 90, but
Yeah,
then it's multiplied because you get 5 answers because we have 5 data points. So it's going
yeah.
so deep. Yeah,
Correct. That you're able to segment it essentially what are the key elements that are consistent across the responses, and therefore a validation and an outcome is decided on that poll. So you can then pull the plug and say, okay, this is the direction I have to take from there, right? So
exactly.
now let's talk about the type of polls because that's also very interesting. I'm sure people are intrigued. Like, tell us a little bit about what are the type of polls, like for example, people can do it within IntelliVee,
Yeah,
and
well,
which are the ones that you prefer the most, like from experience.
I
Yeah.
prefer. I would say all of them, but and that's the
Yeah,
truth. We
yeah,
build it around the Amazon ecosystem, so they're
yeah,
all relevant.
yeah,
But again, it's about sales. So if I
yeah,
speak about getting the click, so first thing you need to know is like, do I get the attention of the consumer up against the competition? So this is a
yeah.
marketplace poll. It's showing your main tile, image, title, price, ratings, everything. You can
What they
even
see
blur
for the
stuff.
first time. Yeah,
You can blur stuff, and then it's up against the competition. So you
nice.
have to really be, by the way, competition. Do not make the mistake to go into Amazon and search for the most relevant competitors based on your
Yeah,
insights.
I know.
No,
Yeah,
think as a consumer thinks. He's entering the system like search, seeing options. That's where you have to stand out.
yeah.
But
You
so
have
that's
to
the
be
first
the
one.
reason why they click yours over the competitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
so that's the first one. It's giving insights around the main image and around the click. But again, it will always start with situation insights, and that's very important. I have a very small video about it that shows like how does it look on the end of the respondent. If you're interested in that, maybe I can share it
Of course.
sometime. But
Yeah, we're gonna put it down in the description so everybody can get access to that.
okay, I can
Perfect.
share that. So that's now confirmed. But that's the marketplace poll. It's around getting that click. Then
Okay.
another poll type is the image tag poll. And the image
Yeah.
stack poll is comparing your stack up against competitor stack. Now, I
Mm.
also want to say something about that right now. You might think like, you know what? I chose these competitors in my marketplace poll, so I'm going to use the same in the image stack poll. Sometimes that's a good thing, but sometimes it isn't, because I see bestsellers out there who have like the worst image stacks ever, and then you might think like, oh, this is going well, so I have to
Exactly.
follow that. No, you have to
Yeah.
understand that also consumers are kind of like in the journey of dopamine. So they click and they enter, and it's like, oh, it's all convincing, let's go. That's not based on the insights. That's not based on information or convincing the buyer like this is what you're really looking for. So
Yeah.
if you're comparing stacks, also do like a more little deep dive and search for newer products who are standing out, who like really, so that you have like stacks that are different. Because if you see
Hmm.
different stacks, maybe someone is really going into the angle of lifestyle and the other one is more like features,
Exactly.
whatever.
Mm.
Compare those. This will learn about converting USPs, the order of the images. Like sometimes you really see like image number 6 is getting the most votes, so then you can
Hmm.
consider to move it to the second spot. So this gives
Hmm.
insights about CVR, right?
Yeah. Super
And then
important.
and then the third poll, and we have so much more, but then the third poll is the purchase barrier poll. It's
Okay.
also called AK DRAP, and DRAP means
Okay.
yeah, DRAP, dominant reasons that avoid buying. So this poll is going in just focusing on just your type of product. It's not necessarily yours. It's your type
Yeah.
of product. You can show that. And respondents are being asked what will be the most dominant reason for you not to buy this
Wow.
product. So
Wow.
then you
So
get
find
like,
the objections, basically, the objections of somebody not buying your product.
exactly. And to
Okay.
say it kind
Nice.
of funny, you get a shitload of negative information around your
I can
type of
imagine.
product. And if you understand those objections, like consumers have those objections around your type of product, then you can
Yeah.
also encounter those in the complete story of your listing and etc.
Very
But
nice.
as
Very
said,
nice.
we have so much more. We have like,
I think,
uh, yeah,
yeah, I just wanted to add the objection. This is the first time I actually hear about this because it's very funny because yeah, so many times there are reasons people don't buy your product because X, Y, and Z, and sometimes it's very dumb things.
exactly.
And by leaving those things untouched on your images and copy, like maybe your competitors are attacking that objection. That's why you're stealing the sales. So it's very
Yeah,
interesting
well,
this one
but
again.
that's the
Yeah,
way it goes. You know, I'm a consumer as well, and you are also. So
yeah,
if
yeah,
sometimes I just spoke about dopamine, sometimes I just have in my mind like I want to buy something. So and then it's really something that I think that I need, that I think that I need. But then I
yeah.
start searching, and the offerings that I see doesn't really apply with my needs. It doesn't.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like close to, but not close enough. And this is the
Yeah,
information that you will get. But okay, I'm buying the product because I want to fulfill my, well, my dopamine. I want to feel like, yeah, I did it. I bought
yeah.
something.
Good.
It's always a funny moment when the brown box is entering the house. Then my wife is looking at me like, "Oh no, you did it again."
You bought
Yeah, yeah,
another
yeah.
thing.
And then I'm already talking about it like, I need it, I need it, I really need it. But then if I
Yeah,
open the box and I see the product itself, she already sees on my face, oh, that's a failure.
yeah.
And
Super
I have
important.
to admit, I have to admit. So, but it is my, if it's my mistake, if it's not close to my need, I will not share that on a review. But if I
Okay.
if the seller really messed up, so the quality is like crazy bad, I will
Hmm.
take the opportunity to mention that. But if
Yeah,
it's like
of course.
my failure, you don't hear anything about me. And
Yeah,
I think we
yeah,
can avoid this. So this is not, I think, what is applying to me. I don't know if you know the feeling as well, but it applies, I think, to many consumers. And we
yeah,
can make a difference. We can really make a difference by listening to the needs, the wants, desires of consumers, tapping into those insights and address those concerns, address the things that they really are looking for. We don't
yeah,
know. We think we know,
yeah,
but we don't.
yeah, yeah. That's the whole point of running these polls, which is I guess another question people may ask you because with these polls and all the polls you guys have on the table, you can get so many new ideas, which is amazing. But at the same time, I guess there's a strategy in which order you apply them, right? Because I guess if you do all the polls at the same time, I'm assuming that's where I want to get your feedback. It could get also overwhelming. You have so many ideas, and then you don't really know
No,
what to attack. So,
no.
what is your
In my
take? What is your
no,
strategy with that? Yeah.
no, in my opinion, no. I think like the ease of doing a poll, like in a few hours, you will get the responses. So it's not affecting your listing. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
experiments waiting for stuff and not knowing why
Hmm.
it's performing better. That's by the way the case with
Hmm.
experiments. You don't know. So, but
Exactly.
now it's going very quickly, and you just grab those insights together. We offer all poll types with very clear AI
Nice. Hmm.
recommendations, so it will give you insights.
Yeah.
What I do have to say is that you need a team of
Yeah.
people.
Exactly.
Like you need
Hmm.
someone in your team who understands a little bit more about consumer behavior. You need to have a good designer who can interpret it in a
The
creative
feedback.
way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, yeah, you need to have those people in your team, and
Yeah.
sometimes you find it all in one person. Then it's a jack of all trades. Well, okay, fine, but you
Hmm.
need that. But I'm not saying that it will be overwhelming. I don't think so. I
Yeah.
think like it's more very valuable insights.
Yeah.
Uh, as said, if you know a list of objections and you know how the product is sold, because that's the selling moment with the image stack. It's like the
Hmm.
converting USPs, and you know what is getting the click.
Hmm.
Well,
Of course. Yeah, I think what I was trying to get with that is that, let's say you're testing you're doing the image testing. You want to test the best main image for your product. Maybe while you're trying to figure out the best image because you're using certain team, then you don't want maybe to use another team to do a campaign that has to be with competitor, because then you're using different teams to test different posts at the same time, and it can get confusing. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, do you recommend doing one poll at a time, and from my seeds move to the next in the funnel? You see what I mean?
no. So
Or
this is all about the stage. What
okay,
you're asking
a
right now is
stage,
about a stage.
exactly,
So
a
if
stage,
I'm if
exactly.
I'm mentioning if I'm mentioning like do a marketplace poll, CTR,
Hmm. Yeah.
image stack poll, CVR, and purchase barrier poll, dumb reviews that
Hmm.
avoid buying, then I'm also kind of like speaking of a baseline campaign. It's kind of like getting those
Hmm.
insights, like where am I standing right now? But this applies for product development.
Exactly.
It applies for relaunch. It applies for improvement. I don't know,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
they are different angles. If I'm just looking at the main image, I do not get the insights about the image stack. But
Yeah.
altogether, the information together gets me clarity about how to sell the product and how to pitch it in the main tile. I need to know that.
Exactly.
So I can say
Exactly.
like don't do it because then you're like quicker or whatever, but it's not about
Hmm.
quick, it's about good.
Exactly, exactly. An idea that just came to my mind, you say pro development, like something that you could use this for is, let's say you don't have the actual physical pro with you, and this is actually an idea that I don't know if you have seen this on your platform, but let's say I do 3D mockups or how I want my pro to look like. Like I could use your IntelliVee to do basically
Definitely.
pro validation
Yeah,
and see if my product
definitely.
is accepted, you know?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely. There are different ways. So let's say your manufacturer is offering you a new product,
Mm-hmm.
and they do that based on their insights, that they say like we have a new feature, whatever. So you need
Yeah.
to know like, is this really gonna stick? Is this what
Mm-hmm.
my
Exactly.
consumers want? I don't know. So if the image is good enough, like really good enough, you also need to use your best practice and just your senses, like think about it clearly. But if the image is good enough, you can test it up against the competition in a simulated tile. So we can
Hmm.
help you. It's all in the platform. If you just drop in the image, you already have the full tile, and you can
Nice.
write all the information in it, and just create it as the way it would look on Amazon.
Good.
If you're not in that stage, so let's say the image is just like rubbish, that happens
Hmm.
sometimes with Chinese manufacturers, then still it's feasible to dive into the category itself and just pick let's say 4 or 5 relevant competitors, throw
Similar,
them
yeah.
into the marketplace pool. So you're not testing your product, but you're testing your competition. Who cares? Maybe you can even
Interesting.
get paid. Maybe you can even get paid for it if you have the insights and just make
Yeah.
contact with your competitors. Say like, I
Yeah.
found it out this and
I
that.
have the answer for you to be a
Yeah.
millionaire.
Well, you don't do that, but you're not gonna do that. But you can do it that
That's
way. So
good.
then you still are getting insights around that type of product or around your category, and you can
Yeah.
just help together with your manufacturer. Like, hey, listen, I think we have to go a little bit this way or that way.
Yeah.
So we had an
Sounds
example
good
with a
enough.
coffee mug. and the
Mm-hmm.
coffee mug was tested, and at the end, like let's say 50% of the respondents were mentioning like, well, I like to have it with a handle. Well,
Mm.
the other group was saying like, I like to have it without a handle because then it fits in my cup holder. So then
Yeah, yeah.
we, the customer started asking the manufacturer like, hey, what about developing a coffee mug with a detachable handle?
Mm-hmm.
So then
Of
you come
course.
to the point that you have to test the hypothesis. It does not exist yet. So you need to make an image that's detachable. Yeah, that will cost you money. I know. But
Yeah.
if you're in development stage and you have like ahead an opportunity to do 400 units a day,
It's actually cheaper to do it at this stage than do the wrong product and
exactly,
having to trash it
exactly,
away.
it's a no-brainer. It's a
Yeah, of
no-brainer
course.
by just tapping into a consumer member base and ask that. And we have 28 million consumers sitting there who
Wow.
can respond. And you can do it in the United States. You can choose Amazon Prime if you want. You can go
Nice.
to the United Kingdom. We have it in Germany. We
Yeah, I
have it
was gonna
in
ask you that. You can tailor that. Yeah, very good.
Italy, Italy,
Good.
Mexico, Canada, and Japan.
Wow, a lot. Very good. Very good. So, actually, another question I have for you, because I guess sometimes when people launch a product, they might struggle to really understand what are some of the questions they want to ask to their basically their community. Like in this case, to get consumer insights. Like, do you have some advice, or you guys provide some template about what are some of the best questions to ask on these polls? You see what I mean? Like sometimes I might struggle to really figure out how I come up with a list of questions that will give me the best
Yeah, but
answers in
it's not.
terms of
Well, I think that's a
yeah,
very, very good question, by the way, because I
yeah,
think, and I do get this question very often,
mhm,
and this is an
yeah,
understanding of polling itself and the way we do it.
hmm,
So you're saying like asking the right question. No,
exactly.
it's not like that. You have to imagine that each consumer, because we're focusing on Amazon, so each consumer is entering the marketplace with a search. So they are problem aware, solution aware. So if I have, for instance, whatever, we spoke about massage oil
Mm,
earlier. So
exactly. Yeah,
let's
exactly.
continue on that
Massage.
product. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say that's it. Then you can imagine probably like the situation would be like this or that. You can just say like, hey, imagine you want to take care of your skin. You're looking and you found out that massage oil might be the solution for that. And then we ask the question, which of these products presented would you buy and why? That's the
Okay.
question. It's not
Okay.
so. And the insights, if you're already saying like in the situation, for instance, like your doctor recommended to buy this oil, don't
Mm-hmm.
do it because you're destroying the insights after that. You're already framing it, so don't frame it
Yeah,
that way.
framing it. Yeah, exactly.
Keep it open. Keep it like really like open because you
Broad,
don't
broad.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
super. That's actually a very good answer, because I feel sometimes some questions can induce the answer on people's brain because you're putting it in a way that you don't give room for
Cognitive load
moving.
will be cognitive load. It will be way too high, and it doesn't work that way. It really does not work that way, and it's not
Yeah.
needed also because if you just well, as said, before. So you really have to imagine, like before you go to Amazon, then there's
Mm-hmm.
like a stage. Like I'm doing this with my hand right now. So the laptop is still closed. It's not open yet, or the phone is not open. It's not started at Amazon.com. That's the moment when someone comes up in their mind, like
I
I
need
want to
oil.
have this or that. That's the
Exactly.
point where we step in. So
Yeah.
Amazon is not open at all. There are no
Yeah.
options. It's just
Yeah.
tapping into the consumer's minds. What do
Yeah.
you want? And of course,
Exactly.
if they're saying in responses, I would probably buy something because I heard from family I should buy this. Okay, fine, then that's the case. And let's
Mm.
say if from 100 responses 30 people are saying I would do it based on recommendation, okay, then it's important to do your marketing that way that you need find other approaches, let's say in the influencer marketing, TikTok, Facebook, whatever,
Exactly.
to guide
Yeah.
the traffic because then you learn it's not going to work simply by search find buy. Well, thank you,
Mm.
IntelliVee, that I learned that. I saved money today.
Yeah.
That's the whole
Super
point.
nice. Super nice. I mean, yeah, that's why it's so important to bring this to the table, and open people's eyes to how you properly do a consumer insight. Because I see that mistake all the time. People have these, copy paste questions that are very, making this
Exactly.
the way people behave is like really funneled towards a specific answer, and you don't get the broad actually thinking
No,
of how
no,
people see things,
no. And
so
as said, if you're just and that's really, I think that's something for me, like a key point. Like about saving money. Like really,
hmm
do the right thing. If you're testing right now, let's say your own product, and you have two options of your own product, A or B.
hmm
What does it matter? So let's say that people are choosing B, and then you're looking at the responses. Yeah, it's more visual appealing. I like it
hmm
more. Why? You don't know why. Yeah, but it's a winning image, so let's go for it. That's crazy. It's like really crazy. What are you doing? If I would
yeah.
take this back in the days that I was in sales, then they would fire me. If I would come back, no, really, if I would say, well, they just don't like it and I like this one, they would say,
Yeah,
why?
you're
Because we need to
great.
develop our product. We need to move forward. We need to invest in better improvements. We need to do something to get it better. So you need to know
Exactly.
why. And
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Super. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what IntelliVee is all about: finding that why, and then using that why to do the right product
Exactly.
and the right images, and then getting that click
And
and the
and
sale.
that's it. And to be honest, it almost sounds too good to be true because I'm part of this company. I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of being part of this because I think we make a difference in the e-commerce space.
Yeah, of course, of
and
course.
and
Yeah,
then I think, like, we have all the cards here. We can offer something. It's at a good price, and you get so easy access to insights that really help you to improve your products the way it
makes a
should.
difference.
And
Yeah,
we sometimes,
super
no,
important.
we do not sometimes say it. We say it very often. It's not about your intuition may be great, but your consumers know best.
Yeah, of course. The consumer has always the answer. Is the reality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome, Peter. So it's been a pleasure to have you. I know we are only scratching the surface because this is such an amazing
Indeed,
topic,
we
and
are.
and,
We
and there's
are.
and it's a science by itself. Understanding customers is something that companies spend millions, sometimes billions of dollars. Like this is like the thing that really can make or break a brand. Super important. And it's great to see companies like IntelliVee making, this
Yeah.
path towards that easier for Amazon sellers. So I'm
Yeah.
sure
Thank
all
you.
the listeners and the ones watching are interested now and eager to start, doing some polls and getting those insights for the products. So how people can, work with you guys. Yeah.
So sorry.
So tell us a little bit about how people can basically get started with Tel Aviv and start working with you guys. Yeah. In case
Okay.
they're
Well,
interested with
we
that.
of course
Yeah.
have a website, so it's
Yeah.
intellivee.net. You
Yeah.
can go there and you see like the information about all our poll types. We have a pricing page and of course a sign up button. So I recommend, if you're not using it yet, then do try it because it's a free plan. That's where you can start. And with the free plan, you already have access to the platform.
Nice.
And then from that point on, if you want to do a poll, you can pay per respondent. We have
Yeah.
pricing plans. Those pricing plans are kind of like tiered. So what it means,
Nice.
like if you choose for a specific plan and you pay monthly, you get money in your wallet, so credits, money to use, and the prices per respondent will drop. So it's based
Good.
on what you're going to use. The price will be cheaper. Now, especially for the
I
e-commerce
know
lab,
there is something special.
when this video will be launched, then we already spoke about this. So what did we say at the end of
So we
April?
say, yeah, we're gonna have active from mid March, end of March when this goes live towards the end of April. I think a 20%
A
coupon. So tell
20%
us,
discount. So
eh, yeah,
it's the code ecomlab20, but it will
nice.
also probably be shared with the
Yeah, I'm
video.
gonna put it in the description and everything so you guys can use it. Yeah,
So and when doing a checkout within the platform, you can use that code and you get 20% off on polling.
awesome.
So
Thank
yeah,
you, Peter. Yeah, thank you so much. It's a pleasure. So I'm super excited to, start seeing some people in our community using IntelliVee. I'm sure they're gonna have an amazing journey with that. And in the meantime, I wanna wish you all the best. I'm sure you guys gonna keep crushing it as always. And looking forward to see you at the upcoming events. I know we have a lot of events. We're gonna see
we
each
have
other
a lot
soon.
of
So,
events that we're gonna see each other. Yeah, I hope
so
that people who are watching this video, that they also gonna see us. I think we have, both of us, we have so much more
yeah,
expertise. We can speak about those things like a lot. So if you
of course.
bump into us, like in Vincenzo or me,
Yeah. Feel free
please
to
do
ask
not
anything.
hesitate and reach out to
Yeah,
us. We are just humans. We want to speak.
yeah,
We want to talk about it. We're passionate. So
exactly.
use our
Thank
knowledge.
you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Peter. So thank you so much and have a nice one. Yeah. See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye.